Well, hello. This is Johnny Dim. If you haven't seen me before, hi. If you haven't seen me in a while, also hi. And welcome to the channel or whatever. I'm going to be picking a bunch of games today. I am picking a Game of the Year or Game of the Year candidate from a list that I have here. I should give credit to the person who made the list, but I will do that. I'll try to put that in the comments below. But what I'm doing is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to kind of go back a ways, play the best games I've never played, which isn't hard to find. Games that I haven't played. I have not played a lot of games. I've always paid attention to the video game industry. I listen to many video game podcasts, but I don't have the time a lot of the time to play video games. So what I'm going to do, I decided the cutoff was going to be the year 2000. I'm going to take a game of the year or game of the year candidate. I'm going to pick it. I'm going to play it. Now, in this particular video, this is just me picking the games. So we will create a list. You'll see on the right hand side there, we have our spreadsheet that I'm going to fill in. I'm going to be picking from these games that have all these games have received Game of the Year from one outfit or another. So you'll see in the year 2000 here on the left hand side, those games for the year 2000 were Deus Ex, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, The Sims, Final Fantasy 9, Half-Life. What is LOZOOT? Oh my god, what is that? I need to look that up. Fantasy Star Online, Perfect Dark, Pokemon Stadium, Diablo 2. Now, the ones that we can eliminate, because I've played them, is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, The Sims, technically I've played Perfect Dark, but literally only for a few minutes. Pokemon Stadium, I actually did quite a few years ago, probably guess 24 years ago. I actually was in a Pokemon Stadium tournament up at what we called Game Crazy at the time. So that's off the list. I've played Diablo 2. So now I have to do the embarrassing thing, and I'm going to figure out what LOZOOT is. The Legend of Zelda, of course. Ocarina of Time. Which technically I've played, but not very much of. So just for myself, so I can really see what I'm looking with here. We have Deus Ex, FF9. I have never played Half-Life. I'm not gonna pick Legend of Zelda regardless. I just don't. I don't think it's gonna be really in the spirit of what I'm trying to do here. Because it's not a game I really want to play again. I know. Don't yell at me. So Fantasy Star is a really interesting pick. I have never played it. I've seen it played. In fact, I think this version of that game, I've seen it play on Dreamcast, I believe. I'll put Perfect Dark on there. And that's it. So we have Deus Ex, Final Fantasy 9, Half-Life, Fantasy Star Online, Perfect Dark. I think most gaming historians would want me to play Half-Life. I think that's a very important game to play. Deus Ex, I'm not sure. Now, Final Fantasy 9 is an interesting choice because I actually don't play a lot of JRPGs. I just can't. I have a really hard time getting into them. I think I should play Half-Life. I think that's important to play. So it's between Half-Life and Final Fantasy 9 is what I want to say. I feel Final Fantasy is so attractive to me, and like from afar, like I see people who enjoy Final Fantasy, and I'm jealous of what they get into. But I also know that it's time consuming. I'll flip a coin. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to flip a freaking coin. So I'm wondering if I can just pop this into here. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna, this is tails, and the other side is heads. So we'll say Final Fantasy 9 is heads. Here we go. Final Fantasy 9 it is. All right, we'll keep that on the back burner for later. So, we do Final Fantasy 9 for our 2001 game. Now, 2000 game. 2001, obviously I've played Halo. I am embarrassed to say I've never played Metal Gear Solid 2. I think I've played a little bit of the first one. I think there was a demo I played. I didn't have a PlayStation growing up. I did eventually get one, and what I did was I had that for I think less than a year, and it was stolen literally from my house. So that right there cut off a lot of opportunities for me. So Metal Gear Solid 2 is on the list. Final Fantasy X is on the list. I mean, it's eligible. SSBM. You guys are going to laugh at me again. Oh, Super Smash Brothers, of course. Yeah, that's Melee. I have played a lot of that. GTA 3, I have never played. So we're down to Metal Gear Solid 2, Final Fantasy X, and GTA 3. I think I have to pick Metal Gear Solid 2. I almost said GTA 3. I really did. But I think it's incredibly important for me to play Metal Gear Solid 2. Final Fantasy 9, 2002, Call of Duty, Battlefield, 1942, Ico. I know what that is. That's the one that's in the kind of the spiritual series. It's not. I say spiritual series because like the other games are not direct sequels. What is it? The Colossus one. And then the one with the bird dog thing. What the hell is the name of that? It doesn't matter. But I know what they are. I know that they're popular. Very artsy. Black and White I've played, and I hate it. I hate that game so much. GTA Vice City I have played. Metroid Prime I have never played. And I think this here, yeah, so those are Game of the Year awards is this number. So Metroid Prime got 11 of those. But I am super curious about the original Call of Duty and Battlefield 1942. Those are more my speed, but I think I have to play Metroid Prime. And there's a Metroid Prime remake that's been made. They've brought that back, so that's probably a good version of that to play. I'll have another chance, I think, to play another Call of Duty or Battlefield on this list somewhere. I'm going to go with Metroid Prime. I actually may even be able to play the original if that's something I wanted to do. 2003, Half-Life 2, which I hear is better than Half-Life. Madden NFL 2004, I think it'd be funny to play one of those on this list. I know that's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I've tried to play that. I just never got more than 15 minutes in, so I'm going to make it eligible still. Legend of Zelda. Wind Waker. Neverwinter Nights. I don't think I've played. Final Fantasy 11 and Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I think the one I would enjoy the most is Prince of Persia. I've seen it played. I know what to expect there. I think playing a football game would be kind of fun, but that's 2004. I don't know. Half-Life 2. So, if I'm not mistaken, all of these are eligible. So that's a lot. That is a lot. I feel like Neverwinter Nights would not be as fun as it sounds. I'm not gonna do that one. I think it's really between Half-Life 2, Knights of the Old Republic, Wind Waker. I know what that is. I know it's a lot of people's favorite Legend of Zelda. If Ocarina of Time is not your favorite, then this one probably was until the most recent two, which I know took the top of a lot of people's lists. I've played the most recent one. I have that one. Prince of Persia. Well, let's just do the ones. Let's make the top 3 Game of the Year awards. Let's make them the most eligible. That's how I want to break this one down, just for shits and giggles. So Half-Life 2 got the most. After that, it's Legend of Zelda, but I don't want to play that one. So the next eligible would be Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, and then Prince of Persia. I gotta play Half-Life 2. I'm just trying to get away from it, to be honest. That's what I was trying to wiggle out of it. I don't have a choice. I really need to. That's like super important game. Okay. 2004 GTA San Andreas. World of Warcraft I have played. I have not played GTA San Andreas. Of course I've played Halo 2 and Doom 3, but I've never played Monster Hunter, and I'm very curious about the upcoming Monster Hunter. What's it called? Wilds, or the one that's open world. We saw the trailer for recently. So I just don't want to play GTA. At least this one. I was listening to something recently where people were kind of saying that like this GTA San Andreas is like people's least favorite of the last few GTAs. I know it was big at the time. I know a lot of people played it. Yeah, but that's all there. It's just between Monster Hunter and GTA San Andreas, and I just don't feel like playing San Andreas. It's just I don't know. It's just that world, like playing what's supposed to be an almost simulation. Almost. Obviously, it's a video game. And they didn't go for super realism, but they try to make those games look more and more real as each one comes out. But like it's almost like I don't want to play something that realistic. And set in an actual like, I mean, it is a satire of the American Californian culture, but California culture. Monster Hunter, I'm just super curious. I'm just so much more curious about that world. So I'm going to put Monster Hunter down. Believe it or not, I've never played GTA 5 either. I think the only one I've actually spent any time with was oh shit, didn't we talk about it earlier? Vice City. Vice City was the only one I really spent some time with, and not a lot. It was just me and some friends goofing around. I actually survived. We were just playing this one time. We were just seeing who could survive the longest with however many stars, and I was barely holding on. I had this really long streak going, and then we had all these cheat codes. That was one of the last games I really remember having like real cheat codes. And they're like, here, put this in. So I put it in, and the cheat code was make all cars explode. So I died. Hilarious. Oh, Shadow of the Colossus. That was the game I was trying to think of earlier. Okay. 2005. It looks like I'm just checking the time, see how long we've been. So I'll probably cut this up then. We're gonna pick 2005, and then we'll call it, and then we'll pick it up in another video. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting for sure. I actually did play a little bit of Shadow Colossus. I have played a lot of Ghost Recon. So let's start at the top. So Resident Evil 4, no, I have not played. I've played almost no Resident Evils. I recently downloaded the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I've been playing through that a little bit, going slow through it. God of War, never played. Psychonauts, never played. Kingdom Hearts, never played. Shadow of the Colossus, I have played. City of Heroes, I have not played. Civ 4. Sorry, I blanked for a second. Civ 4 I've not played. Dragon Quest I've never played. So Ghost Recon. So Ghost Recon and Shadow of the Colossus are the only two that I played on this list. And Resident Evil has an overwhelming 16 Game of the Year awards. And everything else that has any are tied for 2. I bet the other ones have 1. They just didn't mark them. I think if they just got 1, they probably just didn't. Because to make the list, you had to be a Game of the Year winner. So, Resident Evil 4, and they had that remake that is supposed to be really good for Resident Evil 4. I should really play that. I think that's what I'm going to have to choose. But I do have quite an interest in playing a Dragon Quest game or a Civ 4. I like real-time strategy. Which I don't know if Civ 4 is technically real-time strategy, but I know it's like what kind of like overworld, like we're going through history and doing stuff. There's probably better ways to describe that, but no interest in playing Kingdom Hearts 2. None at all. God of War I think would be fun to play. And I've heard good things about Psychonauts, but I'm going to have to go Resident Evil 4. All right. So, we're going to pause it there. This is the first installment in Jonny Dim Picks. And if you've never heard me call myself Jonny Dim before, apologies. I know that's weird. It's just, at this point, it's just tradition. Zach and I, whose videos, if you're watching on the Warlocks channel, Zach's in most of the other videos as well. And it's a long story, but essentially, because of his job, he wanted to not have his name out, like his full name. So he had this name he'd been using just as like a performance name, like a and I guess I didn't want to get left out, so I just used my gamer tag, and that's what I use as my YouTube handle. But thank you very much for watching. I hope somebody watches this. The hope is that I can do more videos. This is me kind of first time back really in years. You get married, have some kids, and a lot of this stuff that I used to do a lot of, I just didn't have time for. It's tough. It's very tough trying to do this stuff and be a dad and full-time job and all that kind of stuff. So, but I miss it. So we're going to try to do more of this. I'm not going to set a schedule just yet. But I'm going to at least try to do something once a week to start, and then we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. I love you. Good night. Sweet dreams. That's all I got.